We often get asked if we would have still bought this property if we'd known just how serious the water issues were. And honestly, we've wondered the same thing ourselves, especially in the moments when it all felt like a little bit too much. Maybe we wouldn't have done it, but clarity usually comes in hindsight, and looking back, the answer isn't a simple yes or no, it's somewhere in between. We first visited this place right around this time 3 years ago, early spring, when everything was starting to wake up again, and back then the water problems weren't really visible. We were told there were a lot of springs on the land, but we couldn't have imagined what it would look like once the rain started falling for weeks on end. I'd like to think we chose this place for a reason, or maybe it chose us, and even if we were a bit clueless about the true extent of it all, this is where our journey started. And now, 3 years later, it finally feels like we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. There are basically 2 big water issues left to solve. One is this area where we want to build a retaining wall with a drain behind it. That's for this summer. And the other is water that comes from higher up. Most of the time it's fine, but when we get downpour after downpour, it turns into a rush of water that floods everything below. Our neighbor Mike has been following along, seeing the struggle, and he was kind enough to fly down from the UK to help us tackle this with a proper long-term fix. We checked with the mairie, the town hall, and got the green light to deal with it once and for all.
This we can get in perfectly. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I can see.
Up. Okay, Mr. Mike. Maybe I can drive with this one. 24.
Oh, God!
Very good, Mike. Try to get this together.
Okay.
That's in, huh? Perfect. Hola.
Ask Mark if he can go to the ferry.
So yesterday was a fun day. We hit the mains water going to our house. It's just sitting into rubble with big stones. There was no warning plastic, no nothing, and it's not even that deep. I think I just snapped it because it's this PVC pipe. It's brittle, they told me. So I think I just snapped it with moving the dirt. Like it's all surrounded by stones like this. There is no sand around it, so not very nice. But anyways, it is fixed, but it does mean everything is full of water and mud, so it's gonna be an interesting day. think it's only 50 deep. We looked at the plans before we dug and we had permission to dig here to put this pipe across, but there was no depth or anything, and we aren't that deep. It surprises me for a mains. It's just the water going to my house, so it's not like the main water supply for a whole village. I'm at the end. It was a small fix. They came in an hour time and they fixed it pretty quick, so good on them. Okay, this red pipe is strong enough to be able to drive over. Gonna put that in, and then we're gonna put that PVC pipe through it. That's good.
De put van Mike.
Ja.
Wat is zand? Waar ben je die op de bed?
Ah, dat is lijmhoeden. Dat de buis in elkaar blijft. Wacht, houden.
Waar daar is de boes die bed.
Wacht.
En voor wat ben je in de moeder?
Waarom wil je oplossen, hè? Okay, let us check. That goes down more than enough. We cut off a piece of 2 meters of this heavy duty pipe, so it goes well beyond the road, so we never have any troubles there. That is very good. Okay, yep. Makes it all a little bit more exciting, because I cannot stop the water coming out of that pipe, of course. So. Voilà. Hoppa. Up deep will I sink? Ah, it's okay. It's okay. Okay. Oh, I have to be with 2 to get that one in, but I can continue with the grey pipe. And then afterwards we don't put on the blue but the brown one, so people in the future know. Because with the water is a prime example when it's not there. So I do understand why you need those plastic warning tapes in there. This is also a yard and we can't go any deeper because there's a leach field underneath it. So this is the maximum depth we can go and then let it flow out in the fields. You like it?
No.
No. I always take so much plastic out of the ground and now I'm putting it in.
Back in.
Voilà. Okay. Put it enough for now. It's more than enough.
Action!
We'll just put sand on here, put that avertisseur until there, put a little bit more sand and then...
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
and then we'll...
A big part of life here besides the renovation is of course our animals. They're always around, whether it's the chickens following behind the excavator looking for fresh dug up worms, June on guard duty as our site supervisor, Ginny being mischievous while also catching a surprising number of mice, Ella our shy one often disappearing off on little adventures for hours, and Lucy we call our matriarch stretching out in sunbeams and demanding respect from the two little ones. Because they're all so different, we wanted to try something tailored more specifically to each of their needs, and that's where Just Russel comes in. They help tailor our pets' food according to what suits them best. Lucy, for example, has gained quite a bit of weight, so her meals are adapted to support weight loss while still giving her the right nutrition for her age. Their recipes use fresh meat, vegetables, and even fruit, depending on each pet's profile, based on things like age, breed, gender, and allergies. It was really fun receiving the delivery and seeing each of them printed on their own personal bag of food, and with the measuring cup that comes with it, we can now see at a glance exactly how much to give. Just Russel works with a flexible subscription that you can modify or cancel anytime, and the delivery is free. We switched them over more than a month ago because we wanted to properly test it first and make sure they were doing well on it, and so far we've been really happy. The cats, who are usually very particular eaters, have been enjoying their food, and we've even noticed Lucy moving around and running more than before. If you'd like to try Just Russel for your own pets, you can use the code SAUVAGE45 for 45% off your first order, including a bottle of salmon oil. The link is in the description below, or you can scan this QR code.
Oh, het vlug over moeten doen, ze. Even kijken wat hij doet. Dat is wel. Voilà. Is het goed? Vind je het goed of niet?
Ja.
Ja? Ja. Voilà. Voilà. Goed?
Ja.
Dat is wel een goed betonnetje moeten zijn, houden.
Ja.
Ja, ben je blij mee? Ja? Papa ook. Voilà. Hop. Ja. Ja, goed gas. Ja, voilà.
The exit.
You grab the eggs. Today is gonna be a day of a million tasks that I want to do. The concrete looks good. I'm almost finished with the neighbor as well, so we moved the rainwater so it doesn't come down anymore, but it goes down into the fields. So that's perfect as well. And we made a little rock wall where we're gonna plant some periwinkle, which they have in the garden. So it should look nice. 6. Is het op?
Ja.
Ja, oké. We gaan naar mama, we gaan ze gaan geven.
Dank u, kapjes. Ze zijn zo lief.
Ze zijn heel lief.
Ja.
De gaan soms niet zo, maar... Before I go any further, release the chicken. You're not happy. Okay, this battery system that I got last year did its job, but this one I'm gonna move inside because this one can only do 1200 watts towards the house. So what happens is once the battery is full, then it can only supply 1200 watts from the solar panels to the house, while the solar panels can do 2000 watts. So I lose power. So what I'm gonna do is place that Zanger one that I got, because that one can do 2400 watts to the house. So that means with the capacity that I have here, even though that Zanger one will fill up its battery quicker, afterwards it will send the double of solar power to my house. So I gain, and then it's possible that this one will actually charge as well, so I can use it in the evening or at night. Oh, and this is not a sponsored video, by the way. This is just me tooling around, or how do you say it? And if you were to get a system like this, it's always better to get it with multiple batteries. Don't just get the main unit, because for most applications just the main unit alone will be too little. You don't have enough power storage, or you run into like I said, is your battery gets full very quickly, and then you lose a bit of power from your solar panels. It doesn't make these systems bad, it's just the nature of these systems. They have to comply with laws as well, so if you do this installation by yourself, I think in France laws differ, but in France I think you're only allowed to put back 800 watts. Unless you get it installed by a certified electrician, then I think you can up it a little bit more. So you need to look at the laws in your country, what they allow. And I think in the UK they are doing tests on these systems. So I think very soon in the UK these kind of balcony solar power systems will be allowed as well. Which is a good thing. They're actually quite amazing. If you want to get into solar, this is the way. If you want to do it yourself with a minimum of investment. Voilà. Voila, let's put it at the end. I'm gonna put a separate breaker at the end where I have all the solar stuff, and put this one there for now. Because most of it in this barn is all old stuff, like the power socket over here, over there. There's one on a 10 amp breaker, I think, one on a 16 amp breaker. I'm gonna avoid touching it too much because the wiring is sometimes also not of very good quality. So the best option is to just put it at the back where my main wire, and I have a new cabinet. I'll put a new breaker in, a 20 amp breaker, and put that system on there. Then I'm 100% sure it's gonna be alright.
Just a little reminder that with our code SAUVAGE45, Just Russel is offering 45% off your first order and a bottle of salmon oil. The link is in the description below, or you can scan this QR code.
Dat ik het sowieso zie, wat ook de logica is dat je de boomman plant hebt. Ik weet niet wel dat dat ooit zo gedaan is, maar je ziet dat dat niet het hoge gedeelte is. Dus als er iets gewoon is vanaf daar naar hier. Ja, dat staat ook voor protection, hè, die bomen, dus ja.
Mama, wat ik gedaan.
Ze hebben kaarten gemaakt en Here in the Dordogne, they started a tree campaign where every birth comes with a tree and you can choose from several native species. We chose a linden or a Tilia cordata. It's a tree that's often seen as a symbol of protection and one that can last for generations. So we're calling it the Odin and Gracie tree. Dat is jullie boom, Odin?
Ja, dat is voor mij.
Voor jou en Gracie.
Nee, het is niet klein.
Dat is niet klein. Kijk, we gaan even testen, Odin.
Het is niet klein, het is groot. Ja, meer.
Voor jou en Gracie, Odin. We zijn vergeten afspreken.
Ja, maar dan kunnen we wel geen talent doen, hè?
Ja.
Oh.
Hij is vast dan.
Ja.